Good morning. I wanted to speak to you again on the matter of the two gardens. I spoke about how in the last episode, when we wander far from God and we wander far from that voice that God has given us, which is our conscience, when we wander far, we become rebellious in our nature, in that we no longer want to listen to the voice of God, that the conscience, the spirit that God gives everyone on the inside to help them understand what good and evil is. And then we wander so far and we harden our hearts and we tune out of that voice, and we no longer want to hear it. And those things that used to be shameful to us, where the Spirit of God knows the intent and the motives of our heart, the conscience, it lets you know when you do wrong because it makes you feel bad, and it allows you to feel good when you do what's right. When we wander so far from that, and when we get so far out away from the Garden of Eden because we're tempted to choose for ourselves what right and wrong is, the more we get, the farther we get out there, the darker the world becomes, and to a point where all you could do in that darkness is think about doing wrong, because you believe that the wrong that you are doing is right, because you have chosen for yourself that wrong is right. The farther away you get from that voice of reason, the conscience, the spirit of man, where God throws up his hands and says, okay, you know what's best for you, you go out there and do it. You know the right way. When the Bible says there's a way that seems right to humanity, to us, our way seems like it's the right way, but that way ends in destruction if we continue down that path. But the less shameful things become, and it comes less and less shameful, and the more it becomes less shameful, the easier it is for you to do what it is you want to do, until just doing wrong becomes outright wicked. It becomes wicked. And the purpose of this becoming the snake is there is only one specific reason, and it started even in the Garden of Eden, where I always used to wonder, why did God curse the snake? The snake had legs to walk, and obviously Adam and Eve were able to communicate with the animals because they didn't think it was strange to talk to a snake. Because if a snake crawled up to me or walked up to me or whatever and started speaking, I would think that, something is wrong here. So obviously they were able to communicate with the snake. So in cursing, this curse, once they disobeyed God and chose for themselves to want to be like God, choosing for themselves what right and wrong is, which is what they were tempted to do, God cursed the snake. And in that curse, he told the snake, you will bruise the heel of the seed of the woman. Because he was cursed, God took away his legs, and the snake was cursed to crawl on his belly, and a part of that curse was to bruise the heel of the seed of the woman, which means there is one purpose that the snake has in your life. It is to wound you. It is to wound you to a point that you are, or you become, the snake. To ruin your life in such a way that you decide that you become so wounded that you no longer want to be the seed of the woman, but you want to be the seed of the snake. And I'll go further into that to explain that a little bit more. But you know, even in the book of Proverbs, the 4th chapter, it speaks about how people who want to do wrong cannot sleep until they have done something wrong, till they've done something evil, wicked. And who do they do this evil, or this wicked do? To other people. And it also says that wicked people also want to lead people down the same road. So this is the purpose of the snake, to lead you away from your peace and your tranquility and who you would be in God, or who you would be as a person. The enemy wants to ruin that by sending snakes into your life to lead you and tempt you away from your garden. And it also says in that 4th chapter of Proverbs that to guard your heart, not to guard your heart from people around you, but to guard your heart from things that come out of you. Because what actually causes a snake to be a snake is that flows from outside of the heart. Because from out of the heart is what you will do, who you will become, and who you influence others to become. When you become a person who does evil and wickedness to others to get by, to get over, just to make sure that life is easy for you, and you hurt and you wound and you bruise other people, you cause them, or you want them to, you may not have that intention at first because you're confused, because you don't know the difference between right and wrong, but the things that you do to others, it affects them in a way where you damage them for the next person or for someone else. And this is the whole purpose of the darkness, the snake, to lead man and humanity, to lead humanity away from their peace and their tranquility, their safety, and their relationship that they would or could or that they do have, by leading them down a pathway of wickedness, that same wickedness. Jesus said, wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many that go down that way. There's many that go down that route. So there's going to be many people trying to lead you in the wrong direction. And Paul said, don't be like everybody else. Be different from everybody else. And there's only one way you could be different, and that is through allowing the light to guide you back to your peace, your tranquility, your safety, and your relationship with God. But the snake desires company. And it's not really the outer layer of the snake. It is what's within. Wounded people create other wounded people. They hurt other wounded people. And their desire in life, sad enough, is to do wrong to other people. They don't have no desire. And then they want to lead other people because they want to, because people think that the wrong that they do is right. They want people to agree with the wrong that they are doing so that it can be or feel like it is right. But if you are a child of God, if you desire to be a child of God, Jesus wants you to be the light in the midst of this darkness. He wants you to be that lamp that leads people out of darkness back to their peace and their tranquility. Because some people, they don't know what right and wrong is, and they probably will never ever step into a church. They probably would never open up a Bible to read, to know and understand what right and what wrong is. But you are the only one who could help them understand right and wrong. And sometimes helping them understand that, it hurts you. It hurts you. Why does it hurt you? Because Jesus, he warned, he said, if you want to be my disciple, you must first count up the cost, what it's going to cost you to live this life. And then secondly, he warned them, he said, because they hate me, they're going to hate you. People who love darkness hate the light. So they don't want to be told, or they don't want to be shown that the way that they live is wrong. They want to be comfortable in the way that they live. And when you come around as a child of God and show them something different, you threaten what they believe is right. Now what did not used to be shameful, doing wrong, becomes shameful again. So they looking for you to do the wrong thing so they can feel comfortable with doing the things that they used to do and not be shameful doing it. So when you come around, they're either antagonizing you, mocking you, ridiculing you, or they're watching someone else do it. And the enemy has so many moving parts. Paul said, don't be ignorant concerning the devil's devices. The devices are the snakes. And some of you live in snake pits where people around you, they're not happy that you changed your life. They're not happy that you turned around. All they want to do is see you back the same way you used to be. Oh, he ain't changed. They ain't changed. She ain't changed. She's the same woman that sleep around. Here, let me give her a call and see if I could convince her to come on back to old sweet daddy Rick. Oh, let me call John Boy to see if I could get up with him so I could get me a few dollars to buy this new purse I want to get. Or whatever your vice may be. I feel like getting high tonight. Let me call so-and-so and see what they want to do, because I don't want to be by myself to get high or to get drunk or whatever the case may be. Whatever that is, they're going to try to draw you out away from your light. And then if you allow or let your guards down, that's why it's always the disciples and the apostles, they always said watch and pray. Watch and pray, because your enemy walks around like a lion seeking who he may devour. He wants to ruin your peace, your tranquility, and your safety. So he's always after you to extinguish the light, so that they can say to themselves, well, you know what, I don't feel so bad after all, if such and such and so, because they know what wrong is. The first time you do it, they let you know that, yo, you ain't all what you say you are. Don't judge me. You ain't perfect, and this, that, and the other. Because they want to feel like it's okay to be the way they are around you. But when you continue to do what's right, even if you make a mistake, if you continue to do what's right, and you ask for forgiveness, of course, and you get back on the right track, which is what this is what the open door for you is. No man can close that door. No one can tell you that you ain't, you don't have a right to fellowship with God. Only God himself. Jesus said, I close the door and no man can open. But he does not want to close the door. He said, he that comes to you, they will in no wise be cast out. So, basically, you have to understand that people want to see you do wrong and fail so they can feel comfortable about it. But you keep on living in the light. You keep on living in the light. You will be persecuted. People will ridicule you. People will mock you. People will even do wrong to you, so that they can justify the wrong that they do is right. When people treat you wrong, when Jesus said, don't do unto others as if you have them do unto you, don't return to them the evil for the evil, the insult for the insult, because when you do that, you justify their wrong as being right. But when you return good for their evil, it's like Jesus said, it's like, and even in the book of Proverbs, it's like heaping coals of fire on top of their head. It's that guilt that you heap on top of their head for doing the wrong thing to you. You prove to them that the wrong that they're doing is wrong and that it's not right, because you return good instead of evil. Because people want to justify their wrong as being right by seeing you, someone who's supposed to know God, someone who's supposed to have a relationship with God, do the same thing that they do, so that they don't feel bad about what they do. And this is where the problem has been with religious folks. They don't understand that. But with that said, God bless you. I love you, and understand that Jesus loves you, and he wants to bring to you the way back to your garden. He wants to give you the truth concerning the knowledge of what good and evil is, which leads to life, which is the relationship with the Father. He does not want to keep you from the Father. See, the snake that tempted you out of the garden, which caused the angel to stand before them so they could not get back into the garden, he wants to keep you from your peace and tranquility. But Jesus, he came to open up, tell the angel to move aside so that you could be helped back into your garden of your peace, your safety, your tranquility, and your relationship with God the Father. This is why he's the only way. He does not prevent you from coming to the Father. He opens the door for you to come to the Father. I'll get back into that at a later date. God bless you. I look forward to doing a live video Wednesday evening. No later than Thursday. God willing. God willing. God bless you, and you have a great day. I love you with the love of Jesus.